Now, the World Series bringing a world of new business to one West Michigan company.
That's right. You may have seen their work on the Food Network in the series Ice Brigade. But now the company is going to be showing off their skills in the Motor City.
In 24-hour News 8's Tom Hillen is live in Grand Rapids this morning with a look at some of their work. Hey, Tom.
Well, good morning, Brett and Emily. We're actually inside the cooler where all this ice is packed up right now, and we're joined by Randy Finch, and you are from the Ice Brigade, and just kind of show us, you're making stuff for the Tigers for the World Series. It's heading to Comerica Park. Tell us what we have to see here.
Well, first of all, like I said earlier, I want to make sure everybody knows this is going to be the 5th time that they win the World Series, and we're going to be ready for them. We've been doing things throughout the playoffs. We did them in 2006, all the ice sculptures for their events, and this year, a lot of D's, a lot of Old English going on here.
So we've got two different ones here, and I guess the main difference right now is one of them says Tigers and one of them doesn't.
Right, we've got a lot of different events that are going on throughout the park itself, and some of them are going to be multiple pieces. So we'll do, like, for instance, these pieces here that say World Series. That's a base riser. The sculpture will go on top of that, and then they'll have like a platter on each side filled with seafood and shrimp and things like that. So we've got food displays, we've got big displays, and then on Saturday we're going to have a giant ice bar out on the concourse.
Now, one of the difficult parts of when you do things for sporting events like this, like, we don't know if there's going to be a Game 5. How does that affect you?
Well, third shift is the only thing I can say. We did the same thing during the playoffs. We don't really know until that last night. Now, luckily, last time we knew that if they didn't have a Game 5, they were going to be going to the World Series. We were going to need ice anyways. So a lot of that stuff was ready. Now this time, if there's not a Game 5, we're just going to have extra ice. But they do the same thing with t-shirts and other stuff. You have to have these things ready so that the last minute you can put it together and off it goes. But we'll have guys in here on Sunday night working third shift, finishing the ice sculptures off for Monday if we don't sweep it in the first 4.
All right, Randy, thank you for your time. We're actually going to be hanging out here inside. Well, we might go outside the cooler for a little bit, but we'll be here all morning. Coming up at about 6:20 or so, we're going to be coming back in here, and we're actually going to be talking about how they get the coloring inside these ice sculptures. It's really interesting. We've already talked about it, so you want to come back for that. For now, reporting live in Grand Rapids, Tom Hillen, 24-hour News 8.
After the Tigers play their first 2 games in California, they'll return to Detroit and be greeted by some ice from West Michigan.
Dozens of pieces of sculpted ice will make their way from the Ice Brigade to Comerica Park on Friday. And 24-hour News 8's Tom Hillen is live in Grand Rapids this morning with a look at some of that work that's being done right here. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Brett and Emily. It's been a very interesting morning. Obviously, I'm standing inside a cooler, so it's pretty cold, but we've been getting to look at a lot of these ice sculptures that are actually made right here in West Michigan, but we'll be heading to Comerica Park on Friday for the Tigers game on Saturday. Now, one thing that I've learned this morning is how they turn this ice that blue. So, this morning we are joined by Randy Finch, and he works here at and was part of Ice Brigade. You might remember that, and he's going to talk to us about how they dye this ice. Randy.
How you doing today? We have some great stuff here. This is how we do all the coloring for the different logos. Basically what we do use is a gelatin. It's colored gelatin, and what that does is it sets up solid inside of the ice. If we just put regular food coloring in, it would bleed out. It would be an absolute mess. So we take the color, set it up in a gelatin, kind of like a Jello jiggler, pour it into the space that we hollowed out with our CNC machine. It sets up as a solid, and then we seal it up from behind. So all the things you see here are the different types of food colorings. We use a lot of like cake decorating colors and non-toxic colors, sometimes glitter inside the ice. And then for some of the pieces we're doing here, these are actually like a piece of vinyl that we put the logo onto it and freeze it right inside the ice.
Now, how long of a process is this from start to finish?
Start to finish, each sculpture takes about 5 hours to do all the different processes that we take. So we're working on multiple pieces. We have like 20 going down so far for Friday as well.
All right, Randy, we want to thank you for your time this morning. Of course, we're going to be back with you again around 6:40. We're going to be talking a little bit more about how actually these are made and talking about why the Tigers come all the way to West Michigan to get their ice. So, of course, you want to stick around and hear more from that. So, from live inside a cooler in Grand Rapids, Tom Hillen, 24-hour News 8.
The World Series is bringing a world of new business to one West Michigan company.
You may have seen their work on the Food Network in their series Ice Brigade, but now the company is going to be showing off their skills in the Motor City.
24-hour News 8's Tom Hillen is live in Grand Rapids this morning with a look at some of their work. How's the temperature, Tom?
It's cold, Emily and Brett. They keep it about 26 degrees in here, typical when it's 7 degrees outside. We'll bring you live coverage from a cooler. But this morning we're talking with Randy Finch, and just tell us how, it's a very intricate process how this is made. So take us through it with this pretty massive machine here.
Well, what we did years ago is we felt that modern technology was the way to go to develop ice sculptures that were going to be crystal clear and perfect throughout, especially for corporate logos. So we have a computerized engraving machine here that we load up with a piece of ice, and then the router bit actually goes through and then hollows out all these different areas. And as it does, it grinds up the ice and turns it into snow. We pack that back in, and we have a white D right there that we're carving. These are also how we do the color Ds, except we remove the snow and put the color inside of it. So.
And talk to us, obviously, I mean, Detroit's a big city. They've got people that carve ice there. Why do they come all the way to West Michigan and have you do this?
Because everything's better in West Michigan, right? Come on. Grand Rapids is an awesome place. And that's really why we feel that we're successful, because we're in Grand Rapids. People here expect a higher quality. And when we started doing ice sculptures in Detroit, we took that quality out there and we're able to show them what we can do. But really, we do stuff around the United States. We do a lot of stuff here in Michigan, but we do large projects for different companies that go across the United States that want that high level of perfection. And the ice sculptures that we do here in our studio, we've got the technology to do crystal clear pieces of ice, intricate logos with the CNC machine, and a lot of things that can't be done in other locations.
Real quick, how many are you sending to the Motor City?
We've got at least 20 so far, but the orders are still coming in. Yesterday I put 3 more on the list, and today I'm supposed to have another meeting to find out how many other sculptures are going to events around Tiger Stadium, not including what's going in Comerica Park. So we're super stoked. We're going to have the luges kicking back here at home, and lots of ice going out in Detroit.
All right, Randy, we want to thank you for your time this morning. So if you see any of those ice pop up in any of those shots when you're watching Detroit, you'll know that it came from West Michigan. Reporting live from Grand Rapids, Tom Hillen, 24 Hour News 8.